So before we do our review of Onward, I just want to show you guys what it's like during this pandemic. There's no one here, and James and I are social distancing, as you can see. I'm going to sit right at the front row, and he's going to sit right up there. James, say hi.
Hello.
Hey there guys, Tom here. Welcome back to my movie channel, and thank you very much for joining me for this, my review of the brand new, not so brand new, delayed in Australia because of what's going on right now. But I just saw Onward, the new Pixar movie. I'm not doing this review alone today. He is my personal Uber driver and everyone's favorite pizza delivery man. My friend James is here. If you guys have not been here before, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that notifications bell so that you never miss out on my take on all things movies. So, Onward, starring Chris Pratt and Tom Holland as two brothers who miss their dad. They have a magical staff, they bring him back, and it's just a pair of legs. That's Onward. James, what did you think of Onward?
It is one of Pixar's worst films.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You don't mean that.
No, I do. I genuinely mean it. It is one of Pixar's worst films. It is probably their fourth worst film. But what does that mean? It's still a great film.
That's the thing with Pixar though. Like they do so they shit out gold. Seriously. I think I've not liked maybe one or two Pixar movies. Like Inside Out I didn't like. But most Pixar movies I at least like.
I mean, if it's the fourth worst movie and it's still beating out Brave, which I do actually really like, Cars 2, Cars, and I'm pretty sure, and maybe The Good Dinosaur, all four films which I don't actually mind, but we don't talk about Cars 2. I would rather purge that from memory.
Did you
personally.
see Cars 3?
No.
No,
No.
neither did I.
But to be fair, I haven't seen all of Cars 2. I couldn't sit through it.
No, fair enough.
It wasn't awful, but it wasn't good by any stretch. But this is better than all of those. And so it's still actually a very solid film.
I definitely like this movie. I don't love it. Like I agree with you. I don't think it's up to the highest quality of Pixar movies. I wouldn't put it up there with like a Coco or the Toy Story films because all of those are perfect movies. I wouldn't put it up there with those. I definitely enjoyed the film. I like the character relationships between the brothers, Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. I like their dynamic in the movie, and then their mum as well. I think most people have seen Onward, but I'm still not gonna give away spoilers. But I did enjoy the movie, and I really liked the fantastical elements. It felt really like when they get out on their adventure, and to get their dad back, and part of it felt really I want to say magical. But it also felt kind of like League of Legends or RuneScape at times kind of thing.
More RuneScape than League.
Yeah?
Yeah, or World of Warcraft maybe.
Yeah, World of War, things like that.
It was definitely playing too much, I think, into the video game formula, and it should have really deviated from that. And I don't think the world building was really there, although you could get away with it since this wasn't a world building really centric film. But I feel that putting the characterization into the later portions of the movie was a mistake, given the revelations they conclude towards the end of the film.
I actually agree with you. Most of the character development was done towards the end of the movie, and which is fine, but I would have liked more at the start. Like, to me, the movie dipped in the middle a little bit. Like, I wasn't completely bored, but I wasn't really enjoying myself as I was in the first and last half of the movie.
I feel that the prologue didn't really set up the way they wanted it to.
No.
I think that was a huge misfire on their part.
No, and I think one of the other misfires was, well, not really misfires, like, I understand it. The movie was a real personal story to the director because I think the story is he never actually met his dad, and that's what this movie is based on. But I think because it was such a personal story, I think it's also hard for us as the audience to identify with that unless we've sort of gone through the same or similar thing. But also because, their dad in the movie is a pair of legs. And that's kind of hard to connect to, even though the legs had funny moments. And in moments I felt the brothers' connection to their dad's legs, but otherwise I didn't really feel that bond there, aside from some slapstick humor that went on. I don't know, how'd you feel about the legs?
The best way to compare it would be comparing it to how Coco presented dementia and memory loss,
Okay.
because it's a very difficult subject to really get across to people, and you have to be very careful with setting up the way that they can empathize with the blight.
But at least in Coco, you had the actual like character there. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in this, it's just legs.
Yeah, but the thing with Coco is it all revolved around memories. So everyone's motive in that was holding their family together, and a lot of their problems were caused by the actions of their families, as well as a single woman slowly losing her memory to a cognitive disease.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a little hard to describe. So that's where the comparison is based. It's not the strongest of comparisons, but I don't know any other movie like this. I think it's pretty odd. But the emotional value isn't quite there, which is unfortunate because walking into this movie, I didn't really have any expectations. I was expecting it to be on the weaker side, more Cars level weak, but it was better than I expected. But the emotional value behind it wasn't as great, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to, walking out, love this movie as much as I love Coco, which unfortunately just isn't the case.
You just wanted to cry. That's what you wanted,
I
or
wouldn't
you
be
wanted
the
to
one
see me
crying.
cry like I cried in Coco.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think the emotional value could have been there a bit more, but I also think that goes back to what I was saying about the fact that it's such a personal story. I think Coco, with the whole idea of like, not that we're comparing this to Coco, but you know, you had that. There's a lot more in that for a general audience, I think, to relate to. This was a very specific.
Or Up.
Yeah, or Up. But this
Because-
movie is more like a very specific thing that happens. You know, someone who never met a parent. And I know a lot of people have gone through that, but I don't know that the vast majority of people, movie-going people, have grown up without one of their parents. So I just don't know how relatable that's going to be on that level.
Or Wall-E.
But yeah, go on.
Because, sorry, Up and Wall-E are two other comparisons because they address different loss. Up addresses the loss of a spouse in this case, and consequent loneliness, while Wall-E straight up addresses desolation and loneliness. Both of them take in different strides. What Onward does is try to address that gap towards the later portion of the film, while Wall-E addresses it in the middle section, about 30 minutes in, I think it is, maybe even 45. It's surprising. It happens surprisingly late, and Up front loads it, and they all pay off in different ways. Coco's a bit more balanced.
Well, I was gonna say Coco is the entire movie. Like that is the entire movie. Do you have any like real other criticisms of Onward? Because I didn't really dislike anything in the movie. Like there were parts of the movie where I wasn't as entertained, but I didn't dislike those parts. But the third act is definitely my favorite, I think, of the film, and there are some funny moments. This movie has its moments, and to me, like it still has that Pixar magic of balancing humor and, you know, having some emotional beats, even though maybe not as strong as we were kind of wanting them to be.
It's a very sweet movie.
It is a very sweet movie, and I think it is a win for Pixar. Like, you know, saying it's one of Pixar's worst movies doesn't really say much, because Pixar just shits out gold. So,
no,
you know.
It's not saying much. I mean, my God, I would still recommend that somebody see this. I do think it is worth it. I think if you don't see it, you're missing out.
And I think that's the main thing. I mean, I think it's actually going to drop on Disney Plus pretty soon, because no one can go to the movies right now. So, yeah, so you enjoyed Onward overall then? Like,
I did quite enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, so did I. I think it's a win. I enjoyed Onward. Have you guys seen Onward? You probably have by now. If you have, let me know in the comment section below what you thought of Onward. If you haven't, you know, go see Onward. I think it's worth the watch. I enjoyed it. James enjoyed it. That's all that matters. And, well, actually, what really matters is what you thought of it. Anyway, guys, let us know in the comment section below how you feel about Onward. And thank you very much for watching. Remember to subscribe to this channel. Hit that notifications bell so you never miss out on my take on all things movies. I can't talk today. My name is Tom, and I will see you guys next time.